What's going on, everybody? This video is for Terry. We're getting ready to show him how to light his weed killer. This thing is ready to roll. One of the things I want to first point out for safety's sake is never tip the device up like this when you go to light it. Flame will come up and burn your hand. You got to be very careful. This thing's just like a big blowtorch. So caution is required. We're going to turn this thing on very low at first, just till we hear a slight hiss. And I recommend doing this in the shade or somewhere you can see. If you're right out in direct sunlight, it makes it very hard to see the flame. So we're going to add a little bit of gas here. Okay, now a little bit of air. We want to let it warm up first. Once you get it lit like that, you're going to want to let it warm up a second. When you get that nice jet engine sound like that, you know you're close. Now that it's warmed up, I'm going to add a little more fuel and a little more air. As you can tell, it had one more gear left. Alright, Terry, let's go for a little walk here, brother. The first thing I wanted to point out is this thing's ability to work in very delicate areas without damaging things like wood and mulch, stuff like that, siding, anything that's going to be in your yard, irrigation lines if you're running a garden or something, you know. You can run right over irrigation lines with this thing. It's not going to melt them as long as you give them a little spray with water first. Here I've got the water turned up a little bit too hot. You don't want it to really spit like this. You want to get it doing this sputter thing right here and then dial the water up just a little bit to get maximum effect. You can see this is in fact killing weeds in a very delicate area right next to siding and all that without damaging anything. But that's not the optimum setting. See here, I got it sputtering just a little bit still. This nozzle's got a real nice spray pattern to it though, where it really gets down inside of there. Anytime you're around siding and stuff like this, I recommend giving it a little spray with water. That way to keep some of that hot air from melting. This thing can also shoot out a lot of steam, but this is tremendously wasteful. So we don't want to do that. Let's get a little shot of some kill action here with some hot water. This is a process called blanching. This is not steaming. And we're getting that hot water down into the soil, and we're not only killing the seed bank, but we're also killing the mycelium network. I don't know if you guys know anything about that, but there's a lot more than myceli going on inside of dirt. So if you've ever started a fire on an area in your yard and noticed the dirt doesn't grow back for a long time, it's because the ground's been sterilized of not only the seed bank, but I'm pretty sure it's called mycelium, and some type of mold network or fungi network that moves nutrients throughout the soil. It relocates it. Look at that. That's almost like a commercial where they show the plant just dying. Cancer-free. Imagine that. You don't just have to kill more than the plant. This is just me showing you how different plants require, you know, different residence times. These types of plants here die very quickly, but you still want to linger for a little bit to get that soil hot. I just wanted to show you the discoloration there. Watch how this thing just dies like it's a freaking commercial or something. I feel like the ShamWow guy. Here's another nice little shot of how effective, how quick hot water is versus steam. All your work, all the energy's going to where you want it. Steam's a waste, guys. never do what I'm doing here. Sometimes your tank is going to get cold, it boils off. So I'll give it a little spray with hot water because I have a pressure gauge and I'm an idiot. I never recommend doing that, but sometimes you lose pressure when you're running this thing. That plant is dead as a doornail, and hopefully we killed what's in the soil as well. These plants here have a different effect. They say you melt the wax off of their blades and that kills them. You don't have to get them to completely wilt. This one there is heavily wilted. But if they don't get that dark color, there's a chance you didn't stay there long enough. We're going to see how this turns out. As I said, different species have different residence time requirements. But the most power of evaporation with the slightest bit of breeze will reduce the heat of that water in an instant almost. So you want to keep the nozzle down inside the weeds, and you just want to slowly work the area. You don't want to, you want to resist the area to just start fanning all over. You want to get an area hot with the hot water. They say 3 inches depth is good for killing the seed bed. I've kind of hit this whole area here all along the house. I've been waiting to do. This tank has been used quite a bit in testing. It did not run out on me. And one of the coolest features about this thing is you can come into areas that are untouchable with the flame and you're okay. Now when you get in sensitive areas like this where you think the flame might get close to siding, I do recommend you give the area a little lick with moisture so that it's wet and less susceptible to the potential of damage. But there you go, Terry. I hope this is what you need, brother, and this will set you up, man. These plants are deader than a doornail. And I want to show you an area I did a while back that has still been benefiting from the sterilization. I'll try and find the footage, the old footage for you guys, but you see this area back in here? I treated this area months ago. These type of weeds here have not returned in the area that was properly sterilized. I did hit this area as well, but I didn't get it good. It was with just steam right here. This area here was hit heavily with the hot water, and you can see that the soil is nearly barren. Guys, we're looking at about 3 months here since I hit this area. This is the area that was just steamed. This device also would allow you to kill weeds in areas like this without damaging mulch. This is all perfectly safe, even right up against air conditioners and stuff. This is not a, there is a small flame coming out of the front, but the steam being directly in the area usually inhibits any damage that may have been caused by it. I have yet to melt anything except for a piece of carpet when I was first testing. So it will definitely hit areas like this. And the nature of the water is you can even get right next to plants like this, and if you're careful enough, you won't kill the big plants because it takes a substantial amount of energy to do that. But for the most part, I think you're all set, brother. Terry, I'm getting you boxed up, brother. You're all set, man. I'm going to do my best to get this video stitched together before noon, and I'll be shooting you an email, man. Thanks again for your business.